everybody. We got another.
Go ahead. Now you can.
Now I can. All right. Well, it's going to feel way more natural now. Hi, everybody. We are doing another episode today, video where we're going to talk about other costs associated with purchasing a house that you might not think of right away. Aside from purchase price, most people can think of a down payment right away, but are oftentimes surprised at some expenses such as mortgage fees, title fees, and then there are expenses that I like to bring up. I call them the maintenance fees. Well, you have to buy a lawnmower. You have to buy something to remove snow, or not if it's a shovel. But and so those are some of the expenses that I am normally associated. So kind of just wanted to bring those up. We can talk through them. What are mortgage expenses, mortgage fees? What are title fees? What are some of these other things that you're paying for that you can prepare for? And approximately what's the range of some of these so we can have an idea of what's needed in order to buy a house.
So you're talking about outside of the actual house purchase. We're talking about maybe the moving costs.
Yeah.
Like, and then maybe you're like kind of first time. Oh, I didn't realize I needed this in this house.
Right. Yep.
I've got two unique situations. I'm going to shut this down just a little bit. I bought two foreclosures. Both were vacant. One had never been lived in, which means it didn't have appliances, which is fine. I knew that was going in.
You saw that on the walkthrough?
I did see that. What goes in this little hole right here in the kitchen? It's like a fridge-shaped hole. But what I didn't realize was curtains or window treatments. And I was a single guy. I didn't care. My backyard was Highway 25.
You got extra sheets, right?
I did not care at all.
They're driving really fast. They're not going to see in.
Exactly. It's their problem if they don't like me seeing me on the couch. But also, it didn't have a water softener. Well, I learned very quickly how important softened water was to my now wife. When she moved in, and the first time she ever took a shower there, she's like, "I hate your water." I'm like, "Oh, okay. What's wrong with it? It's wet."
Is it salt water?
Yeah.
What's wrong?
I don't think that's ever gone through my mind.
Right.
This water feels weird.
Oh, she was great. We got engaged, and she was still living at home, and I lived here, but she's like, she went and bought curtains. She went and bought a water softener. I mean, these were all like big things. I bought the house and the ring, and she bought all of this other stuff. But I mean, it racked up pretty quickly. So that's one thing I do tell people in new construction. Think about a deck. Think about curtains. Think about window treatments. Think about all this other stuff that you usually get for free in an existing one.
Yeah.
The thing that I didn't realize when I bought mine, so I live a little bit more out in the country. It's an acre and a half, nothing crazy, But when I bought my house, I didn't realize how much from like Menards or Home Depot I was going to have to buy, like hoses, sprinklers, shovels, your snow shovels, your, just your outside tools. There's just chainsaw.
Yeah.
Those cost a fortune.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the biggest one was a plow. I for whatever reason, I was just like, oh, this is a great house. Well, my driveway is like 50 yards long, and I didn't have a plow. I didn't have a snow blower or anything. And that was the year
Wait,
that
you didn't own a Bobcat?
I didn't own anything. Yeah. And, we ended up going to Menards like 4 times, spent like $1,500 on all this stuff, and that was the year that we got like 100 inches of snow. It just kept snowing. And I just kept calling my dad. I was like, "Hey, you've got a plow, right? Can you come and hit this for me really quick? That'd be great. Thanks."
Yeah.
Yeah, the example that I remember buying our first house, and there was all sorts of stuff. It's just, we need a garbage can for the bathroom. These are the things when you're buying your first house, where it's like, we don't have anything.
Yeah.
Well, we're buying a garbage can for the bathroom. We're buying this and that. And the ones that I remember just kind of pushing me over the edge was, we need a like a rug, not like area rugs, but right inside your garage door, right inside your front door, in like those kinds where I was like, these are big, expensive, heavy-duty mats that are going down. And I just remember, not quite as dramatic as Tommy's number, but it was $300 every time we went to Menards. And we were there, sometimes it was twice a day. We were like, I didn't even think of that we would need this item or that item, whatever it was. And the rugs were the ones that pushed me over the edge where I was like, this is so annoying. Like, I didn't have any of these before, and it is so annoying that I have to go buy them.
Yeah. Or like an area rug for, a big hardwood floor area or something. It's like, how expensive are those?
Yeah. Yeah. And you guys are 100% correct. Now, you guys have both been selling for a while. Is there anything that you've kind of picked up? Sellers like, hey, I don't want to take this anymore, and buyers said, hey, I don't want it either. Maybe they already have it.
Pianos and treadmills. You've taken those? I've taken a treadmill.
Yeah.
I've never taken the piano, but those are the ones I've gotten a decent amount of workout equipment. Because shockingly, people don't want to move workout equipment.
Yeah, it's just weights.
Yeah,
they're just meant to be heavy.
They're just like, I already don't use these, and they're going to make me lift them up to move them. Because I think someone was quoted, one of the big machines I got, someone was quoted like $900 to move it. And they said, we should just sell it for more than that and then buy a new one when we get to our new house, because they were going from Minnesota to Wisconsin. And they were like, they were going to charge us like $1,000 to move it. I was like, yeah, that's really expensive.
Right.
Yeah. My most recent one was a garage fridge. Just extra appliances. This was a garage fridge. New buyers didn't want it. Seller didn't want it. And I was like, well, my freezer isn't working all that well, so I'll just swap it out and give away my other one on Facebook Marketplace.
You're like, I got a guy to come and get that for you. No problem.
I'm that guy, minutes later.
I'm that guy. So, I remember when we moved into our second house, we went from like a 1,200 square foot home to like a 3,500 square foot home. Still had the same problems, no window treatments, anything like that. But it was everything. I was just like, I feel like I'm $10,000 short, like in that first 45 days.
Yep.
And I'm just like, where did it go? And then you kind of go back and you're just like, oh, you're exactly right. It was the lawnmower, weed eater, all of this stuff that I didn't need in the first one. Plus, we like tripled our size of our house. And it was just like, whew. A moving truck. We didn't pay somebody to move, but I rented one. It just chipped away at it. And I was just like, oh. So those are those things that, if you bank on, your mortgage, your down payment, there's all of these other things, and nickel and diming makes sense.
Yeah, what's funny too is a lot of times it's you need something because you realize that you don't have it, and then you need something because you need something. So, for example, you are missing light bulbs or something, so you're like, all right, I gotta go get some new light bulbs, get back, and you're like, crap, I don't have a ladder, you're hanging pictures or something, and you're like, okay, we need this, the command strips, blah blah blah, and we can just use a nail for this other one. And you're like, crap, we don't have a nail. We've got all of the tools, but we don't. It's like stuff like that where there's just so much that you don't realize that you don't have when you move.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, those are kind of the fun ones. There are some of the other expenses that come up that people are surprised at. A lot of first-time buyers, I don't think, realize that you may have mortgage fees that are going to come up, and there's programs for that we've talked about in other videos. We don't need to get into that today, but mortgage fees are another expense that come up. Have you guys had surprised buyers?
I'm gonna tell a story on my very first house, because it's like it was probably most shocking to me.
Sure.
Because I was the buyer one time. We made the offer. We closed. I gave my down payment. We signed all of the closing documents. I moved in, and I think it's like a Thursday. I get a call on Saturday. Hey, did you move in yet? I'm like, yeah, we closed 2 days ago. Like, I have all of my stuff, which isn't a lot, in here. Well, something wasn't right with the selling bank. It was a foreclosure. You don't actually own that yet. I'm like, what? I signed, I paid everything.
Squatter's right says I do.
Yeah. But they made me come back. I mean, it was like the following week. They said updated, but it cost me like an extra $17. I don't remember what the deal was, but it was like an extra $1,700. I'm like, hey, this is your mistake, But I was just like, what do I? Not much I can do. It's kind of a little bit overwhelming for me, but it was a surprise, and it was I wasn't in real estate at the time, but it was just a mistake, and I don't remember what it was, but I was pretty ticked off that I had to go back and re-sign and pay more money. And
right.
I wish I could remember off the top of my head what it was, but I know it was like $1,700, and I was pretty TO'd.
Yeah. Now, if your expectations, or if you knew that was going to be paid up front before you got called back in, just managing those expectations, I'm assuming you wouldn't be as ticked of
Correct.
having to go back in.
Correct. Yeah. Well, especially when you moved everything in and then you say, you don't own this yet.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, yeah, I do. So, I didn't know what what was I going to do? Go back and not much to fight about. But I've been surprised on that.
Well, in my story for my first house, which Tyler actually helped me buy, it's kind of funny. I would say for all the things that I pay attention to financially, I didn't pay that close of attention. Like I couldn't tell you what my down payment was or anything like that. And this also speaks to the importance of having a good lender.
I was like,
or
careful on who you throw under the bus.
No, a lender that you trust, is because we essentially said, like the joke, well, how much does that car cost? How much do you have? I have $500. Well, then it costs $500.
Yeah.
Like that. And so when we were going to buy the house, I just told the lender, I said, I have this much money. Use this. And that I don't know what we paid for closing costs. I don't know what our down payment was. I just know that everything together added up to that.
I don't have any money left.
Oh,
but
okay.
I went and looked at it later and because once I got into it, I was just kind of curious. I was like, what was my exact down payment? What was this and what was that? And I looked at the fees, and at the time I just was like, oh, that's a lot in mortgage fees. And now I'm looking at it going, that's exactly what you should be paying. But I remember just kind of being, I just remember being surprised when I looked at it later going, wow, mortgages are really expensive.
Yeah.
And so that there's those other expenses that we don't necessarily think about up front, because I have had clients where I say, all right, we're getting ready to make the down payment. You said you have X amount of dollars. Do you have more than that to pay for your mortgage fees? Or is all of this, were you just planning on all of this being for the down payment and fees combined? And they go, what do you mean? And I go, okay, well, let's talk about these mortgage expenses. And I've had some where they go, maybe we're not offering on that house. That changed things. And those are conversations that I should have had up front, but also things that lenders should have had conversations with as well.
And also when we use the term fees, they're not all fees.
Right.
You are actually buying a year's worth of homeowners insurance. Mm-hmm. Like you're actually purchasing a product that's not a fee. That is a price of a product, but you don't really think. You're like, oh, I'm prepaying this. Oh, I'm also putting some into savings via an escrow account. So those are all just kind of a little bit surprising. So I totally understand that. And I'm sorry I didn't properly prepare you on that one when you bought that 10 years ago.
You may have, but if you remember it, I actually wasn't there for most of the purchase process. I was up in Detroit.
Oh, yeah. I totally told Katie.
Yeah?
I totally told Katie.
Definitely, absolutely. Yeah, so have those conversations up front. Ask questions. Ask us to go through it. That's one thing that a lot of my buyers have just a wide range of that knowledge. Some of them do their own research, and they come in and they're like, oh, yeah, no, I already know all that. And it's like, awesome. Man, does that make the process easy?
Here's one, and I take full responsibility for the mistake as an agent, and I've helped buyers really capitalize on it, and it'll be completely, you guys will know it because I told you guys to do it as well. Propane, when you're purchasing a home with propane.
Yep.
So in the purchase agreement, it's a big surprise. It says, utilities are prorated, including LP, liquid petroleum, propane, meaning you owe the seller what their cost was, what's ever left in the tank. It's not free. It's not included. You actually have to pay them. It's personal property. And me, and this is probably my first year, I totally spaced on that. And quite honestly, I didn't know. And we got to closing, and all right, well, here is the amount you owe buyer for the propane. And that was when propane was like $6.50 a gallon. And it was like, you had the world's largest propane tank. It was a 1,500 gallon tank.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I think I ended up paying like $4,800 out of, because it was my mistake.
Yeah.
I didn't tell them that. I owned up to it. And I'm just like, I'm so glad I made this commission because
so
it was gone. I was
check
like,
was slightly larger than this amount.
It wasn't much. I think I netted maybe $1,200. I was just like, oh, I don't make that mistake anymore on LP.
Wow.
So again, that was mine again. And I think we've done a great job from our own learning experiences from either purchasing or, all right, we made that mistake. Mistakes happen. People are human. And I think we've done a great job of letting our customers know, hey, we're going to walk you through this process just so you're properly prepared for our closing and you know exactly what to expect, because that might change what house we go after.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. And that has been something that, again, it's come up where we talk about the expenses that are associated. I've actually I had a client they were interested in a house, and we were literally just standing in the driveway, and I said, what do you buy to clear this? It was a bigger driveway. It was like an acre property, probably similar to what yours is. And I was just like, so what are you going to buy to clear this? And he goes, I don't know, actually. And I was like,
Really big shovel?
I was like, I don't think a snowblower is going to do it. I was like, this probably needs a four-wheeler or a Ranger or like maybe even a truck. And he goes, I can't afford that. I was like, well, you might not buy this house then. And that actually was the deciding factor. They liked the house, and he just said, yeah, this is not going to work. We don't like it that much.
Yeah.
So we've seen it.
Yep.
But now we know how to properly prepare you. So
Yeah. Yep.
We learn from Tyler's mistakes.
Tyler's mistakes.
got to pay to go to school. So, all right.
Anything else to add into there? Unexpected expenses?
Yeah.
Stories that we've run into?
Yeah, you can always get in contact with us. We can walk you right through it. It's truly not scary. We kind of tell these stories, and we're having fun about it now, but it's really just share our mistakes so you don't have to make those either.
The best learning has come from my own purchases.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But you can always get in contact with us at northstarprorealty.com.
Cool.